Welcome to It's a Grand Life, where our mission is to be a voice for grand families and kinship caregivers everywhere. Did you know that in the United States alone, there are 2.3 million grandparents raising their grandchildren? 2.3 million. It's a Grand Life is committed to making a difference for those kids. That's why we have the podcast, a Facebook group, and the Grand Fund. The Grand Fund, which is a 501c3 which was launched in June of 2024, provides financial assistance to grand families, including shelter, food, clothing, and household needs. Grand families are in every neighborhood, in every city, every tribe, and territory nationwide. If this is you or someone you love, we're here for you, and we welcome you to join us on this mission. Our goal is to offer hope and resources to help you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. You can also join our Facebook group. Just search for it under It's a Grand Life. And your reviews, comments, and sharing of our podcasts help us reach others that need assistance. Welcome to another episode of It's a Grand Life. Hello, my name is Craig Nash, and I'd like to welcome you to another It's a Grand Life. And you are going to be so blessed this afternoon. We've got not one guest, but I think we have, what do we have, with 4 or 5 ladies from Grandparents Parenting Again. And they have just this beautiful community in the city of Detroit in the historic Fellowship Chapel with Dr. Wendell Anthony as the pastor. I mean, it was just a historic day for me to be there with you all last month. And just really appreciate the organization, the leadership, and the love that I saw among these ladies last month. And Ora Williams, you are the founder of Grandparents Parenting Again, and we just want to welcome you to It's a Grand Life. And tell us, how did this fantastic organization get started?
Thank you, Craig, for having myself as well as some of my grandparents with you today. This organization started from a previous prison ministry that I was working with. And when I was in prison ministry, we had an organization called MOIST, Mothers of Inmate Support Team. And those were all mothers that had a child incarcerated, and they were taking care of the grandchildren, I discovered. And we called it moist because our pillows would always be so moist with the tears, worrying about our children that were incarcerated. But besides that, they also had the duty of raising their grandchildren while their child was incarcerated. So as I thought about that, I was with another organization, and I said, we've got to do something about these grandparents that are starting all over again, because that's basically what it was. So at that time, that was in 2009, 2010. I myself never thought I would be a part of MOIST as a member, but I was, because my youngest son became incarcerated. So I was helping raise his children. So as I spoke to other people, and it was through DPN, and they said, well, what do you want to do? So I came up with a program, and it was called Grandparents Raising Grandchildren. But as I thought about that, I said, but we're leaving out some people, because there are others that are raising children that are not their own. So that's how we became Grandparents Parenting Again, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're starting all over. And kinship care, because kinship care encompasses all of those others that are raising children, nieces and nephews with their aunts and uncles, neighbors' children being raised by neighbors. And we wanted to encompass everyone. We wanted to let them know that if you're raising a child that's not your own, we want to be your support system to you. It's not about grandparents raising their grandchildren, because if I'm an aunt and I'm raising my nephew, if I see grandparents raising grandchildren, my first thought is, oh, that's for grandparents. It doesn't include me as an aunt. So right. I wanted to make sure that we were inclusive of others also, because at this day and stage, there are so many informal caregiver relationships, because basically you have two kinds of caregiving, and that is informal and formal. Formal is having working with the child welfare system, and informal is my grandchildren are out there and I don't know where they are, and I'm going to get my grandchildren and raise them and do what I need to do.
Amen.
But I don't want to go through all that rigmarole with the state and all of that. So that's how we got started. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to introduce each of our grandparents that are on here with me today and ask them to tell you a little bit about themselves and how they came into the program. So first off, we have Deborah Chase. And Deborah has a really unique story to tell. So Deborah, I'm going to let you go now.
Hey, Deborah.
Okay. Hi. Thanks.
Just turn your phone a little bit. We only see your forehead. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Craig, for having me today. It's an honor. I came through grandparents raising grandchildren, parenting again, because of this. I lost my daughter at childbirth, having her last child. She had 3 children, and at the time they were 0, 1, and 2.
Oh.
Today they are 13, 14, and 15. Their mom passed 2 hours after she had the last baby. So during the time that I had them in school, I was crying out for help. I needed different resources as a grandparent. I am a person that has a disability. I've had polio since I was a young kid, as well as I have had 2 transplants recently within the last 4 years. In 4 years, it's been 4 years. So as they were in school, I was crying out for resources and help with different areas. The school system connected me with Miss Ora Williams, and that's how I became into the group. And along my way, I have found that so many people know Miss Ora. I'm always uplifting the program because they offer so many resources and help that is very much needed. And I know personally, I need myself with the help. I don't get extra help with the kids. So she always offer resources and programs and self-care for the grandparents. And I mean, it's just a multitude of things, and I'm just so happy to be in the program, and I'm always advocating for our program, and I have always brought different topics that I offer to her to bring to the grandparents. So it's an awesome program.
That is quite a testimony, Deborah. I mean, just
Thank you.
very sorry about your daughter. That's just I can't imagine that loss, but
Yes.
I can't imagine anything better than your grands living with you and you take care of them either. So
Yes.
thank you for stepping into that role, and we certainly appreciate your story, and feel free to share whatever's on your heart as we continue our discussion. But Ms. Ora, who else would you like to introduce?
Go with Sharon Sparks.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I am Sharon Sparks. I came to grandparents of taking care of my mother.
Oh.
And I needed help, and I was in therapy one afternoon, and she referred me to a lady at who helped me with my mother. And then she told me, she says, hey, I got the support group for parents. I think that would be a match for you. Check them out. Okay. And I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. So one Thursday, I'm doing absolutely nothing. And, oh my God, all the things that I thought only I was experiencing, there were more I'm experiencing things. And it was such a sisterhood there. Everybody was always so pleasant and willing to help everybody. And I thought that only I was just grieving because, I lost my daughter. But here are people who have lost their sons, their daughters, incarcerated, or they're just out on the street, and they were cheering to get all that, I'm experiencing. The lady next to me is experiencing it too.
Right.
So we just share stories, and Miss Ora, we can praise Miss Ora enough. Okay, because all that she does, thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Sharon.
of course.
Tell me that I send emails out all times of the night. They want to know, when do you sleep? Because I too, I'll think of something. I've gotten up out of my bed because I'll think of something that I want to make sure that they get, or I'll send an email to a person that I want to come speak. It doesn't matter what time of the day or the night is, they're going to get it eventually, read it. And so that's one of the things that I truly enjoy, making sure that they get the resources that they need. And one thing that I do before I refer them to a resource, I make sure that that resource is still in existence. There's nothing worse than calling an organization and it's disconnected or it's not in business anymore. These grandparents have enough on their plate without having to go from place to place to place. You know, I try to find places that are wraparound programs. With that being said, we're going to go to Sharon DK.
Hey, Sharon.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome. Welcome into Grand Life.
Thank you. Well, currently, right now, I'm raising 4 of my grandchildren. I got them at 1.5, 2.5, 7, and 2.5. They're now 16, 13, 11, and 10. I was introduced to grandparents raising grandchildren again through Sharon. And I am so happy that she introduced me to it, for the simple fact that not only I myself enjoy the program, my grandchildren, oh my God, and they have blossomed through the program. They has been exposed to so many things. I mean, we done been to the museum, they done been to plays, and they have open discussions about it. And not only that, they're able to go in and do community service. They always, what only thing they have to do is mention Miss Orr needs. They say, okay, we in. And that brings pride to me, because they have to realize that you need to give back to your community. And through her, they're learning so much about giving, learning, and enhancing themselves. Not only that, I myself was like very private and inward, and she has brought me out of my box where that I used to be, how I used to be, and I enjoy every element of being with each and every one of the grandparents. And they have shared so many things with me, as far as activities, tutoring. It's an array of things that Miss Orr has allowed me to receive. And I'm very grateful and happy that I was introduced to her and the organization.
A great story, Sharon. Thank you so much for coming on It's a Grand Life today, and your testimony. I mean, I know you have an amazing leader in Aura. I mean, you could just tell when you're at one of your events, everything runs like clockwork. And you know, that makes such a difference. And it just sounds like the program's been so good for you and your 4 grands. And Aura, who else do you have for us today?
I have. We're going to go to Lisa Tripp. Lisa's a new member. She hasn't been with us too long, but I think she's really enjoying herself. I know we enjoy her because she brings resources, as well as she's a fantastic baker. And so she makes these delicious pound cakes and sweet potato pies. So we're going to keep her.
Miss Orr. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Lisa.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Deborah. I missed somebody.
Hi, honey.
I found the group. First of all, I got my grandson. He was 1.5 years old. Now he's 16.5. And it has been a very long 15 years. I found the group when he was 12. I'm in another grandparent group, and I noticed that they cater more to the children. So I was still just looking, and I came upon Miss Ora Williams. She started calling me about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and we missed each other. And then 3 years later, I got in the group, and I joined, and my life has not been the same. Yeah, I feel like, well, I know the people in there, they are very friendly, and it is really genuinely friendly people, nice, and it's nice to know. I hate to say that old saying, misery loves company, but it's not misery, but it's just nice to know that somebody else is in your same situation.
Right.
And I was trying to find um, a group that had the older kids, because like I said, I have a teenager now.
Mm-hmm.
And it has gotten increasingly harder and harder. Well, not so much harder, just different. When they grow up, they act, they people say teenagers are crazy. I'm inclined to believe it because they act totally different, like they're aliens or something. And I noticed that it's just not, it's all colors, all communities,
Yep.
the teenagers are really the same. Black, white, green, yellow, blue, they really act the same. They're different. They're stand out. They don't like to talk. They don't want to share. They're quiet, solemn. If they don't have a gaming device in their hand, they're very sad. So I welcome that, and I welcome the stories. And then Miss Orr, we have so many activities. I'm telling you, I'm keeping my weight down doing her activities, seriously, along with eating, but still she keeps us really busy, and it's very interesting things. And the people that come to our group, such as yourself, Mr. Craig, when you came, they're very interesting. I was going through identity theft with Chase, and at one meeting the people was there from Chase. I could not believe it. I was like, Miss Orr must be a clairvoyant on top of all her other skills. It was perfect for us for that day, and it really hit me where
The
I needed it.
topic,
And
the
yeah,
perfect
the
topic.
topic, perfect topic, and it really helped me. So I
That's
was like, that was beautiful, and I don't know what else to say except why I really love the group, and I love the people that are in it.
And Lisa, you talked a lot about your grandson, right?
Yeah,
And being depressed when they don't have a device in their hand, and
yeah,
that is a challenge in with every grand family, really every family in America right now.
I
And
know.
and we have had if you get a chance to go into our website, we've interviewed a lady who's a psychologist. Her name is Julie Brakazuski, and she specializes in social media, and she does a phenomenal job. And if you ever wanted to listen to her suggestions, so what we try to do is not only have testimonials like you all, and I appreciate you so much coming on board and telling us why your organization is so successful, but we try to find subject matter experts that deal with the issues you're dealing with. And social media is another nonpartisan issue. It's not a color-driven issue. It's not a gender-driven issue. It is a nightmare for all of us.
It's a nightmare. Yeah.
And my granddaughter, who's now turned 11 and going on 30, and last week she started, and you know what I mean when I'm saying that. I'm not speaking a foreign language here. And she started screaming at her grandma, or her yaya, and I.
Yeah.
And we had to stop and just pray about that. And sometimes these grands are carrying so much baggage from abandonment and trauma. And in fact, I'm leaving on Thursday to go down to Atlanta for some training on how to deal in identity. So, because I think if we can get to the root cause for our grands of why are they so angry and what's going on with them, that I just believe the Lord wants to come in and heal all of that. And but thank you for your sharing with us.
We've got one person, and that's Maddie Morgan.
Okay.
Maddie.
Hey, Maddie, how are you? It's Maddie, right?
Yes, MATTIE.
Okay. Welcome to It's a Grand Life.
Well, to start off, I'm actually raising the first 3 of my 13 great grands.
Ooh. That's a lot. I'm sorry.
That I have 14, 13, and 11. So 2 females and a male. So that's a chaos right there. 14-year-old I was her caregiver when I first met Miss Aura. I met Miss Aura through a mutual friend. I was working at Detroit Parent Network, and so was this young lady. And her granddaughter and my oldest became a little connected, and we started having certain issues with them. And she said, you know what? I have a friend that started a grandparent group. I'm gonna give you her name and number, and lo and behold, it was Miss Aura Williams. So upon me calling her, she made her couch available to me, which was many hours of counseling sessions. Long evenings. I found out that we both stay up late, so we would actually communicate with each other after midnight sometimes. She'd go like, "What are you doing up so late, answering my emails?" Or so from that point, I took on her sister, the 14-year-old sister. At that time, she was 5 going on, no, she was 6 going on 7. Then fast forward, I received their brother. He was 5 he was 5 during 2018. The girls had left and went back to their father, but they came back that summer and they stayed for another 2 years. Then back to their father and came back in, I think, less than 9 months. So they came back to me. They went back and they came back December 2022. So with the back and forth, the instability for the girls, it became a trauma and a disposition that they adhered from being in the environment and the upbringing in different households. So that was my challenge. So Ms. Orr and I, we would discuss it. She would give me a lot of guidance, a lot of resources, and I've just really, she was just an angel in disguise. And we had plenty of hours just discussing, and then when I would come to the meetings, she would be overjoyed that I was even able to make it. So it was just a lot of back and forth, but a lot of positive. And I really enjoyed and really have appreciated Ms. Aura's her shoulder pads, her sofa, her willingness to just sit and just let me vent, our hugs. And so we went beyond the just the meetings twice a month to, I would even pass by her place on our way to or from church and stop by. So I just, so whenever she called and said she needed something, I was right, Johnny on the spot. It's like, okay, what are you going to do? So she said, no, you need to just go and sit down and rest because you're up and you're doing this and you're doing that. So you just need it. I understand when you can't make it. So once again, our friendship have evolved over the years, and I just appreciate the group. I appreciate the opportunities that she prevailed the children, and she made available unselfishly. She would just give of herself.
I appreciate you. Craig, we have Gwen Swain on, and Gwen is a supporter. She is not a grandparent raising grandchildren. And with our group, we have people that just want to support us, be it financially, be it physical health, be it emotional and mental. And Gwen Swain, I think she's on there. Gwen, are you on there?
She's muted right now, but she's
muted.
there.
I'm here.
Hey, Gwen.
Okay. And so the supporters are important with us also because they're there as a listening ear sometimes for me so that I can see which way are we going, what do we need to do. They also serve, some of them serve on the advisory board, which is made up of 8 members. It has 4 supporters and 4 grandparent members. So Gwen is just going to give you a really quick of how she even came, because I don't even remember how Gwen got to us.
Well, I actually came from Betty Kinchin. So I call her Miss Betty. I met Betty, I know it's been way over 10 years ago. I met her, we were both doing water aerobics classes. And that's how I met Miss Betty. We started talking. And in course of that, I got a chance to meet Juanita Francis, her friend. And they were telling me about the grandparent group. And so at that time, I was like, oh, I didn't even know if there was a grandparent group. They were telling me whatever. I said, well, I'd like to come to one of your meetings. So it's probably about, I don't know, 2017 or something like that, or 2016, that I actually came, and I liked the group, and I noticed that very resourceful. And so I joined the group. At that time, I really wasn't raising my grandchildren, as they were already in school. I was doing a lot. I never raised them on my own, but I always was very helpful, going to PTA meetings, going to all the different things, picking them up from school, taking them to school, because my daughter was a single mom at that time. She was divorced. And so she had the 3 little ones, and they're 3 stair steppers. And so I was helping with them. I helped with my oldest granddaughter as well. And I did everything for them. Now they're finished school, they're in college and working and all of that. So I'm grateful for that. But and I see what some of the other the grandparents are going through. So I think it's just a beautiful group to be with, because everybody needs help. Everybody needs some inspiration from someone, or just someone to talk to. And I know Aura is like that. She's very patient. And I noticed that. Not just with she doesn't make a difference in whoever she's talking with. It's the same, because she loves everybody. And I just think it's just wonderful. So that's why I joined the group, and then I was able to get a chance to get out and to do more things. And about 6 years ago, my husband passed away. And so I got more involved in the group. And I say it's been very rewarding and very helpful to me as well. And I now have a great grandbaby. She's 17 months old, and my granddaughter and her husband are having another baby. Wonderful. And so by the time she's 2, that will be born. So I've started potty training her and everything. So it's just rewarding to be a great grandparent, and I really love that. And but the group is really great. And grandparents, everybody, like I said, everybody needs some help. Everybody just needs encouragement, and that's what this group does. And I'm grateful to be a part of and be a supporter as much as I can be.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's now, since I have everybody here on the Zoom, I want to ask you all a question. Are you? The group is amazing, and we know why it's amazing, because of your fantastic leader there. And
Yes.
do you all go to the church, or do you just come to the grandparent meeting?
I attend Hartford as my church home, but I go to the meetings there.
Perfect. Okay.
I attend a different church as well too, but go to the meetings and any of the outings that we can go to, or all the fellowships, partnerships and things we have. I try to do my best to go to everything.
So you don't have to go to fellowship chapel,
No.
right? But it's good to be in church. Amen. I mean, it's
Majority of members don't attend fellowship chapel.
I have my own.
Various churches around the city of Detroit and the Tri-County area, but they come faithfully on the 2nd and 4th Thursday for our meetings, because fellowship has been so gracious to give us space, meeting space.
Yes.
So
it's a beautiful space you have. It really is. And
it is.
So this has absolutely been great. We've actually gone over our time. But we have to do this again, because listening to you ladies, it's given me a lot of questions that I want to ask you another time if we can do it. I want to ask you about the system next time we get together, like if you are part of the foster care system, or if you are part of the kinship care where you're independent from that. I want you to give me next time an unvarnished testimony about what's working and what's not working. And but I just want Aura, thank you so much, and all these wonderful ladies for being on It's a Grand Life. You have no idea how you have helped folks by your testimonies, and obviously Miss Aura is more like the head pastor than the executive director.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's fantastic, because they keep me going. Knowing that I'm able to give them some of what they need and some of what they want. You know, I'm always looking for help because we all need it so much. But I want authentic help. I want just in name only. That's the reason I'm very particular about finding a mentoring program for young men. But I don't want, a lot of men are into it. Yeah, I'm a mentor. I don't want that. I want people that are going to actually mentor and work with the young boys because that's what they don't need to just take them to a basketball game every once in a while.
Yeah.
So to look, and I'm very particular also about who comes to speak to our group and who comes to bring information, because I have to make sure the information is relevant and I have to make sure it's open and honest.
That's right.
Absolutely. The integrity of the meeting flows through your office. That's right. You've got to make sure the right folks are there. And if you got some characters up there, I know you'll be brooming them out pretty quick.
But, I'm glad that you found us and came and supported us last month, Craig. It was awesome. We truly
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, we are now partners in
yes, we are.
in the kingdom and trying to make a difference with these grands. And but if it's all right, I'm gonna wind down our meeting, but stay there. I got a couple questions for you. So I want to just thank you all at home for listening to It's a Grand Life. This was a treat today with grandparents parenting again. This group, Lord willing, will be back again to go in depth into what's going on in the state of Michigan, what's working and what's not working. But Aura and company, thank you so much for being our guest here on It's a Grand Life. Thank you for joining us today for It's a Grand Life. It's a Grand Life provides vital content, regulatory updates, and subject matter experts that are committed to supporting the 2.4 million kids and their caregivers from every neighborhood, every city, every tribe and territory nationwide. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. Every new subscriber and review helps us reach others that need assistance. As caregivers, we are united in purpose. We are driven by hope while providing strength for today and hope for tomorrow. We are truly making a difference while living the grand life. If you have a suggestion for a future episode, please reach out to us. But we'll see you next time for another It's a Grand Life. Thank you for joining us.